This is what they don't tell you about Mount Kenya. Kuteremka, you have to reverse and feel the grip. Not too bad for a background. Hi beautiful people, I hope you're doing well. So it's the end of the 3rd day, and I have to say now I understand why I've never seen anyone vlog about summiting Mount Kenya, because hey, the day I have had. Wow. Okay, so just to catch up, we're doing a 5-day Mount Kenya hike, where the route we are using is, we came in through Seymour Gates, spent the first night at Old Moses, second night at Shipton. Today morning we're supposed to summit and then spend the night at Lake Michaelson, which is where we are right now. So today where do I even begin? We started the day very early, around 2, because we had to have some breakfast before we left, and then trek up to the mountain because we spent at the base camp. If you've never been to Mount Kenya and you're coming from Shipton, I mean if you're coming from Sirmon, then Shipton will be your base camp. Started the day early. Guy, look at that. Good morning beautiful people. It's 2:30 in the morning. We're about to take breakfast and begin the summit attempts. So I don't think I'm going to be recording I don't think I'm going to be recording much of this part because it's dark, but let's see if any developments arise, I'll update you. But see you at the summits. But let me tell you, the interesting thing about this trip is that the only thing that has been a challenge for me in Mount Kenya has been the cold. I have not had any slight indication of altitude sickness. I was just rejoicing to that yesterday. But weirdly is altitude sickness shows itself, as in it's different to everybody. So today we started the hike and I was already out. But here's the thing, my altitude sickness does not come as a headache. It doesn't come as like the feel of discomfort, like you feel like throwing up. Mine is interesting, comes like I feel so fatigued, so tired. I just need to take a nap to sleep my the fatigue off. So when we started 30 minutes into the hike, I think an hour into the hike, I was just done. This is fogging up. I'm so sorry. This is Mount Kenya. Just bear with me. It's so cold. So I was focused. I was just feeling tired. I wanted to sleep. I was already fatigued. So that's number one. Number two, seeing that the only challenge I've been facing here in Mount Kenya has been cold, I figured on summit night I am going to layer it, as in I am not going to get cold here. I am not going to be the one that suffers from cold. guess what? I had the opposite problem. I had 7 layers on top. I think 7. Was it 7? I had 3 thermal. I had 3 thermal wears. I had layered up. I had 7 layers, and then at the bottom I had 4 layers. So by the time we were on our number 2, I was already sweating. So fatigue plus sweating, I was already losing my mind. So if you've ever been to Mount Kenya, or if you saw from yesterday's snippets of where we were to the route, I mean the angle from Shipton, it's just one steep incline. Do you know what the surprising thing is? It is on day 3 you only cover, was it 3 or 5 kilometers from the base to the peak? It's only 5 kilometers, but boy, are those going to be the hardest and they're going to be the toughest hours of your life. They were for me. Nitaanguka nikiambia msmile.
Ile unaona inaitwa Point Peter.
Gani sasa?
Ile unaona hapo?
Oh, ile ndogo. Point Peter.
Na iko katikati inaitwa Ndoto.
Alafu sasa iko bonde nale.
Hiyo on the right, hiyo ni Ngati. Hii ni Megan sasa. Hii ni Thompson.
Thompson.
Iko Thompson. Alafu Lenana iko
nyuma hii. Haya. So 2 hours into the hike, 3 hours, I had to start layering down. As in, that was very, very weird. Everyone just kept mentioning that. So we hiked in the dark, got a very beautiful sunrise in the morning. It was amazing. We are almost there. We are almost there. After we cross over that point, we can actually see Lenana. So those two, if only this thing will focus, yeah. Those 2 peaks, this one and this one, is Tembea. It's fogging up. Tembea and remind me. Telele. Huh? Telele. And then this one, I think we've already explained. He said there used to be geysers right here, but now because of global warming there is nothing. I think you're going to see some on the other side. The view is to die for. Hi Duncan.
Hi.
Nasikia niko na kelele, niko na energy kupiga kelele. I will not lie. We're literally on top of those clouds.
Are you taking a video?
Yeah.
Take a video.
Alafu.
Go take like Alice.
We can see the tiny flag. You see this point? There's a tiny flag. That's why I heard that Kasarani has already said 1 hour. Hata kwenda kwa kambi itakuwa tu 1 hour. Hi, let's look at the highest point lake. Atinaitwa lake? Alice. Harris. Sorry. That's Bachan over there. Hey, this month has been a month of catching beautiful sunrises. Was it last weekend? It was Mount Ololokwe. This weekend is Mount Kenya. Where to next? Keep it here to find out. So yeah, so we trekked in the dark, sun rose, we were still en route, and then we got to Lake Alice. Now Lake Alice is from Lake Alice you can actually see the peak. It's like you have to look, it's like you get like is it like 110 degree vision of the peak. It's just, it looks like it's just here. You can actually see the Lenana flag. But now at that point it was I think it was 4600. We were at 4600 meters above sea level. So once we sat down to hydrate, I was just looking at the mountain. I'm like, I'm already here. See, I can see it. See, it's there. See, there. I can touch it. So I've done it. Don't really have to, because the terrain from Lake Alice is just rocky. It's purely rocky. It looks like Batyan from that perspective. So I was just I was joking at that point, but little did I know what was waiting. I didn't even go 30 minutes. So a few meters past Lake Alice, my body resigned. I mean, it was totally out. It resigned kabisa. It was not going anywhere else. I was trying to psych myself up. Now here's the thing. Here is where I realized that hikers are always right when they say that hiking is more mental than physical, because at that point my body resigned, but I kept pushing, as in my brain was just, there's the summit, I've come this far, there's the summit, I can actually see the thing. There is no way I'm going back home having not reached to that point. But my body could not hear anything. I had to tell it. So at that point, I mean, the lead guide just decided to stay with me for a bit to just try to help me, because I wasn't feeling sick. I wasn't in pain. I didn't have any headache. I wasn't throwing up. I wasn't short on breath. I was just tired. So the guide said, sleep. So, which was crazy. I found that to be crazy, but at that point I couldn't differentiate left and right, so I took any advice I could get. He had to hold me like a baby for me to sleep, because at this point I'm seeing the summit is here. My body is refusing to do what my mind is telling it to do. Anxiety is kicking in. I'm like, no, I can't have spent all this time, all this energy for me to come here, see the peak, and go home having not submitted. So held me like a baby, which I think someone took a photo of. I'll put somewhere here. It's crazy. Yeah, so after 10 minutes hydrated for a bit, took a little bit of juice which gave me instant sugar, and then started the hike up. But let me tell you, that's the shortest, most gruesome distance I have ever covered in my life. Every step felt like a marathon, a freaking marathon, lifting my own foot. It's not that the terrain was bad, but I was just tired. I was physically tired. I felt like I was carrying 2 sacks of 50 kg sugar or rice or whatever. I was tired. My back was tired. My legs were just tired. I was not in any pain, but I was just tired. I'm getting distracted. There are guys descending to the camp right now. Sorry. So yeah, I was just feeling tired. I tried hydrating, no use. So it took me, I was the last to summit. It took me like a good 2 hours. The distance is like one and a half. It took me like 2-3 hours to get to the summit, but I did eventually summit. I was the last. I was the last to summit, as in after every gruesome, painful step, I did finally get up there. But truth be told, by the time I was getting to the summit, I was not myself. I can't even recall half the things I did up there. I can't recall. I don't even know who took photos of me up there. I was just on autopilot. I only had singular goal to get to the peak. Come rain, come snow, come whatever.
And you need to catwalk to that summit.
Catwalk?
Yes, hapo.
Where is the energy?
Where watu wamekungojea. The team waited for you.
Where's my slow clap.
There. Magoti. Makofi. I think you need knees more than makofi. And catwalk. Go. I'm recording you. Go to summit. Makofi. Nipale. Enda. This is your video. Go. Fungua. Panda. Ini ya panda. Enda. Haya. Enda ndo kapande. Enda. Haya, go summit. Stay on the camera kidogo, summit tumalize video. Malizime video. Haya. Hapo. Haya. Yes, now I'm summit. Nivo.
I made it to the summit. Not in one piece, but I made it. I made it to the summit. Oh, my about to get real quick. But this day, more on that later. This is what they don't tell you about Mount Kenya. Kuteremka, you have to reverse and feel the grip. Aya.
Shika nyingine. Shika nyingine.
Zina zigzag?
Yes, yeah. Do not let your arm go without.
Okay, they are zigzagging.
Sindio. Shika chuma. Always have your hands on a chuma.
This is what they don't tell you about Mount Kenya.
Okay.
Haya, to the left. Ungekuwa umekaribia hapa. To the left again.
Shika chuma nyingine. Shika chuma nyingine.
Oh.
With one hand, not both hands.
Haya. I thought going up was the toughest one. Ziki, these are the last of the Mount Kenya glaciers.
Lewis Glacier.
Lewis glaciers. Kidogo, just kidogo. The only remaining. Actually, they used to stretch up to all the way there. But sasa, non-existent. Kidogo. Ah. Wow. Save the planet. This is basically ice. Even this is ice. The hard rock. So, unfortunately, we didn't see much snow because this is just frozen ice. But if you're lucky, you can find when it's actually snowing. So for us, it's ice. So yeah, eventually I did end up summiting. After summiting, surprisingly enough, hydrated a bit and then got back to my old self, my old bubbly self, weirdly. So descending wasn't that bad of an issue. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, because you see that last stretch between Lake Alice and a peak. It's somewhat rocky, but then there's also loose soil, that the kind that travels with you when you're descending. So that was giving me anxiety, but it turned out to be very okay. So yeah, that was my crazy summit story. I got 100% back to myself after we got to the second lake, which I keep forgetting the name. I'll put the name here somewhere because my mind was still not 100%. So we got to the second lake, had breakfast. I would like to say no, just tea and biscuits, just to get our sugar levels up, and then descended using the Chogoria route, which is something by itself. This route. So yesterday's route was mostly from Olmoses to Shipton, was mostly valleys and streams and these plants, I keep forgetting the name. Yeah, so it was just valleys, streams, and plenty of flora, fauna, whatever you wanna call them. And then for today, I think now this with the Chogoria route is just lakes and valleys, because immediately like you descend from the summit, there is Lake Alice, and then there is like a small lake. And then now as you descend to come to where we are camping, is we followed beautiful River Nithi, which feeds into Lake Michaelson. That's Nithi River flowing down, forming a very beautiful waterfall. Fish, but the trail here, the trail going down, not the best. It's giving me anxiety, but anyway, goes down to Lake Michaelson, which is absolutely insanely out of this world gorgeous. I mean, I'm freezing. I'm risking hypothermia just looking at it. So we descended from this opening, followed the river. I think you can hear the river flowing. Followed the river downstream, and then came to where we've set up camp. And this is what we're working with today. I'll say this: if you don't come to Mount Kenya for the summit and for the experience, I mean, just come for the views, because man, this is insane. And it's actually clear water. Let me try to get close. It's crystal clear water. It's very cold, so I'm not going to touch it. But you can see here, and I hear there are fishes. I don't think you can swim here. Someone once told me that this lake has what? Is it called a cyclone or what? That hole at the center that swallows you. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't think people actually swim here, but they fish. Yeah, there's lots of fish here. Not too shabby, eh? Ugh, I can't get enough of this. I can't get enough of this. So yeah, we followed the river. We got to the camp here at Lake Michaelson, and naturally, since we woke up at 2:30 in the morning after lunch, after brunch, everybody went to sleep. Kamoja tu. Sababu tunakula lunch.
Take your spoon.
Thank you very much. This is Summit Snack. Unaka sukari? Unaka chocolate? Nyinyi ni wa wapi?
Kwa boarding bono.
Aki msiweke blue band.
Too straight.
I know. Nyinyi ni wa wapi?
Hata iko na kasukari.
Hey, if there's anything I've advertised for this trip, it's food.
Alafu next time nakuja kule sandwich.
So, to warm ourselves, we have butternut soup.
No vegetable.
Oh, kanina danganyana. Vegetable soup.
Bread.
Natodi.
Garlic bread, something like that.
Garlic bread. You don't say. Hey.
Yeah.
And then with that view. Whew. Thank you very much, John. It's hot. It's nice and hot. Hakuna nini?
You thought it was already tomorrow.
You've slept that much? Aya, KK, how was your summit experience?
Well, it was awesome. The journey, story of another day.
It's
Anyway,
he was my suffering partner.
all in all, fun is done.
Well, everyone submitted, but now we got to summit. It's a different story.
Everyone got to summit.
Go to summit.
I think just put it inside.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's a garlic bread. Okay, go ahead. I wouldn't have submitted if it was not for this man. Abas, karibu tu nipanguze machozi. I'm so sure nimesikumbuki. Hey, God bless this. Lakini watu wa mlima wana roho ingine hapo.
Where
do you get that heart? How do you get that heart? Like if a guy, I don't know.
you did have the heart, you
Mtu
won't
unakutana na
go.
watu wengi.
Unapatana na mashida mingi.
Wengine wabaya, wengine wazuri.
Kwa kuna wakutukana na
Tena
all the way
tunajua
up.
mambo ya attitude. Najua attitude saa ingine inakufanya unaongea mbaya, unaongea vizuri.
Unakuwa tu mwendazi out of your mind.
Unakula mashida baka your voice.
Mimi nakwambia for the first time KK alikuwa mom. Sikuwa hata smile. You see this signature smile? It was nowhere.
Those are the times you only concentrate on.
Surviving, but we all submitted, right?
Yeah, they submit.
Tulikuja hapa kufanya nini?
We did it.
Yay! Air bump. Submit. Good morning, Grandpa. How are you today?
Are we recording?
So I just thought that it's such a beautiful place, such a beautiful day to not take advantage and just fill you into what we've been up to. Yeah, so far day 1, day 2, day 3 done. Tomorrow is also going to be a long hike. I think we're supposed to cover how many kilometers is it? We're supposed to cover I think 17 kilometers because we are coming from Lake Michaelson to Merubandas, which is going to be our last full day walk, full day hike. So, but that's tomorrow's problem. Today, we enjoy this insane view. Can I give you 3 minutes of uninterrupted view of the sounds of the beautiful... Guys are looking at me weird. Yeah, I think I'll leave you to that. Yeah, so this camera is tilted. So yeah. I think I've covered much of what we did today. Okay, so after the summit along Chogoria route, other than the lakes, which I'm obsessed with, is that I don't think the route that we used to descend is the same route that they used to ascend, because my guide told me they use where we are, the cliff up there's another route, so I'm thinking that is they use a different route. Anyway, that is the end of Tembea Mount Kenya day 3. We are still here. We have survived in one piece, surprisingly in one piece. So yeah, let's see what holds for day 4. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention today there was I don't know if it's snow, but there were small white pebbles, so I think it's hail. There was a hailstorm, but they were tiny pebbles. It looked, I mean, 2 minutes and it looked so pretty. That was insane, considering the fact that I didn't get to see any snow at the top, which I don't think I would have registered anyway given the condition I was in. But yeah, that was something interesting that happened today. What else? I think that's it. It was a torturous day. If you don't want to come to Mount Kenya for the summit, just come for the scenery then, because damn it, look at this. Let's look at this. And the serenity is you'll get serenaded with the sounds of running, crystal clear waters, crystal clear, like the most Damu water I've ever had in my whole life. Oh my god, this is insanely beautiful. It was basically a torturous day, but all worth it. That's what brought us here. So I think I'll end today's vlog here and see you tomorrow for day 4. Bye. I got to leave you to this amazing view. So I'll give you 2 more minutes. 2. Will 2 be enough? Will 2 be enough? You need to come here. You need to come here and see it for yourself, because I promise you. So yeah.